man without bills is a man with nothing but freedom. That is also usually a man without much either. But I was traveling pretty light back then, ladies and gentlemen. It suited me fine. So I went down there to Eureka Springs, Arkansas. I'd never been there in my life. I never even looked at it at a map. It turned out it was a lot farther away than I'd anticipated from my home in Northeast Ohio. But the gold at the end of the rainbow, free rent. So I go to this little town. It's a beautiful place, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And I start hanging out there, and they got all kinds of clubs and bars and restaurants and hotels and stuff. And people come there from all over the country, and they go on vacation. And man, they party down, and I party down with them, man. And I'm playing gigs. I'm having a good time. I'm making like $50, $75 a night with no rent.
Yeah.
So I was rich. Well, I'm playing in this little bar, and this guy comes up to me, and it turns out he's kind of a well-known kind of blues rock guitar player. And he was in this place getting drunk and digging on the music, and I was playing that music, and we started hanging out. Then he took me back to his house and got me drunk, and we got to be friends for a little bit. About a week later, he left on tour and broke his heel jumping off a stage. He called me up. He's like, I need a dude. I said, I'm usually that dude. As far as like rock dude things are concerned, I'm usually the man for the job. So he says, well, I need somebody to drive the van. I said, I got a van. And he said, I need somebody to haul the equipment. I said, I can do that. And he said, and I'll pay you $300 a week.
Fucking right.
Exactly my thoughts, young man. I was rich, and I was speechless, actually, because I wasn't paying any rent. It was all profit. I was living beyond my wildest dreams at this point. And he thought I was balking at it because I was silent on the phone. He said, and I'll give you $50 a show if you open the shows. And I'm like... So I'm living the rock dream, ladies and gentlemen, on tour for the first time in my life, seeing the greater United States through a bug-smeared windshield.
Yeah!
I highly recommend it if you have nothing better to do. So 6 days into a 6-week tour, I've never even been farther away from home than a weekend's worth of gigs. I was rocking like Paul Rogers of Bad Company. I get a call from the dude that needed the house sat. Because at this point, nobody was really sitting on it. I just had a buddy of mine going and picking up the mail and making sure it didn't burn down. He said, good news, you gotta move out. I said, I have a slight problem. I won't be there for another 5 weeks. He said, that is a slight problem. But we worked it out. I offered him $100 in rent for the rest of that month, 5 weeks, which is quite a markup from zero. You know, it seems like small potatoes when you don't think about them that way. So, with that $100 that I would get to them when I got back home, they promised not to throw away my thing.
My thing.
I didn't have a lot of stuff. So I got home off that tour. I knew I had to make a move. So I called up a friend of mine before I got home, and I said, hey man, I need to find an apartment. I need you to look in the paper, man, and make some calls, man. I can't make them out here on the road because this is the wild, wonderful 90s, people. This is before cell phones. I was touring with a pager and a roll of quarters when you could still find a payphone. Daddy, what's a payphone? So anyway, he calls me up the next day. He's like, man, I found your apartment right by Chelsea's. Chelsea's is at 10 Mountain Street, right in the middle of downtown Eureka Springs. It's called Mountain Street because it goes up a mountain like this. I've seen many a dude roll down that hill coming out of Chelsea. It's always entertaining. When anyway, Chelsea's was a bar that I hung out at and played at, and you know, all my friends bartended there, and it was sort of the center of my social circle at that time as a young man. So I said, that's cool, man. How close is it to Chelsea's? He said, really close. I said, good. That'll save me on gas coming to and from. I said, well, how much is the rent? He said, it's $225 a month, utilities included. You know, I was out there making $50 a show plus $300 a week salary, ladies and gentlemen. That seemed like small potatoes to me now. So I said, man, I'll take it. They need me to Western Union any money over there. He goes, nah, man, I'll just tell them you want it. No one will rent that. I should have seen that as a red flag, you know. Because when I got there and I packed up my thing and moved out of that other house and moved into the apartment, I went to the front window. It was 2 rooms. And then I figured out when I plugged my TV in that utilities included basic cable, which was accurately named for Northwest Arkansas in the mid-90s, ladies and gentlemen. The cable was basic at best. So I look out my window, ladies and gentlemen, and what do I see? It's the bandstand. My apartment was right there. On Thursday and Friday and Saturday nights, ladies and gentlemen, my front window would be obscured by the drum monitor. So I had to get used to Thursday, Friday night, Saturday night, and sometimes Sunday if they had a benefit, to hearing the drummers mix. Now the drummer's monitor is much different than the front of house monitors that you are hearing right now, ladies and gentlemen, and what I got used to was this. Drummers only like to hear themselves. But you know, at $225 a month, utilities included, it had its upsides as well. Because I could order drinks by phone and they would bring them to the window.
Boom!
And I'd be having a nice Bloody Mary with a stalk of celery in it, standing in my bathrobe like Hawkeye Pierce from MASH. The downside to that is that I would order drinks and stand around in my bathrobe and drinking like I'm Hawkeye Pierce from MASH. I love that apartment so much, I spent 10 years of my life in that apartment, ladies and gentlemen, in 4 months. But I wrote a song about it, explain the whole situation, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm glad you had the kindness and patience to sit through the 8 minutes of your life that you're never going to get back again. This is a song called the Chelsea Swing. Some days try to get something to eat. Put my shoulder on my head, paper nights having been to bed. It's always such a mess, it's home for me, but now I guess. Feel for the bar, you know, so we keep stopping by. Baby, don't you think you should? This place is always such a mess. It's on the people now. I guess good for the bar, you know, so you stopping by. On my shoulder, out of my head, paper nights early, having been to bed. This place is always such a mess. It's home for me for now, I guess. Look for the bar, you know, so keep stopping by. Right on, I'd like to thank the good people at Scotch and Soda for a quality product. I strongly endorse. I'm glad that old man Scotch and Soda's kids and his grandkids are going to have opportunities that he never had as a child through hard work and perseverance and adherence to a quality product. Cheers.
Yeah.